Hello, everybody. It's Markus, and welcome to more Chatting in My Jungle Room. I am chatting with an Australian music legend. His name is John Swan. You know him as Swanee. John, how are you today?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm
You
good,
look
thank
so
you.
healthy. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I just got back from Bali, so my skin is
There
all
you go.
humidified. My hair is humidified. Everything is like, yeah. But you know what? I leave Bali and I come home to my own home jungle. So,
Yeah,
wherever I go, there's the tropics, and I love it.
where I am in Coffs Harbour is all tropics. I've got a banana plantation and stuff
I
like that down the back.
love that all. You know what? I should have come up to your place and we should have done the interview face to face.
Oh, I'm going to go to Bali or Thailand. I'm not too sure yet because Jim's got a couple of places over in Thailand, down in Hoi Hin, and another one in Bangkok.
Oh,
And
love.
it's just insane. The most beautiful people,
It's a vibe.
the, the most peaceful people in the world, I reckon.
We need a bit more peace in the world, don't we? Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. If people were to be a little more considerate to, and it's not, I think people have made it all about them,
Yeah.
and it's not, it's we, you
Yep.
know.
Yep.
There's no I in love,
No, no, no. Now,
And
John's,
I'm a real believer in that, and I always have been. I've done some, terrible things in my life, but the the most of the time I've tried to be that person, and care about those who aren't as fortunate as well. Yeah, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, spread it around. Now,
yeah.
John Swan, the reason why we are chatting, aside from the fact that it's just lovely to catch up with you and you've got such an incredible story to always tell, but the reason why we are talking today is because on Friday, May the 30th, which is not that far away, it's only about 3 weeks away, you are doing
Yes,
a show at the Gov, one of my favorite venues in Adelaide,
yes, yes,
Gleeson, Swan, and Borich.
yes.
How exciting. So it
Can
is, oh, sorry, go on.
you go ahead? You go
Yeah.
ahead.
So obviously, when we say those names, it is John Swan, it is Dave Gleeson, and it is, of course, Kevin Borich. What is the show
Borich.
about? Borich. Borich. Don't forget the show. Kevin Borich. What is
It's
the show
Simon.
about?
Sorry.
What
The
is?
show is about. Well, see, I've got an album coming out. Believe, right? And it'll be out in July, and it's duets. And these are two of the boys who are on the duets album with them. And Dave and I work together a lot. We do things not so much in Adelaide, but nationally. We do the Bond show and stuff like that. We did the very first Bond show with Angry Mark Gable, myself, and Gleeson. And you couldn't get a bit. Gleeson's the best guy to be around on the stage because he's just such a vibe. And nothing's a problem. It's like, yeah, man, whatever you want to do. And it's in the wrong key. And he goes, oh, that's fine. You take that bit then.
He's a crack up. I love
Oh,
him.
he's a beautiful man.
Of course, I just saw him recently with a show called The Fabulous Caprettos. Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Well,
is
this
coming back to Adelaide
Jack
too.
Jones, one of my closest friends.
Oh, like seriously, Jack is just a legend also. Um,
Yeah.
but excitedly also, there's actually special guests on the show as well, which is Carla
Yeah.
and Dusty Lee as well. Of course, we've
Yeah.
all seen them recently with the Adelaide Fringe, the
Fringe.
27 Club.
I believe they killed it there.
Oh my goodness. Have you worked with them before as well?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dusty, I consider as one of the most underrated people
Mm.
in if not the world, the country, because he's got so many. He's versatile, like James Mueller and people like that. We're lucky. We've got Stephen Hawk, Dusty, James Mueller. In Adelaide. I say we because I still consider myself an Adelaide, but it doesn't matter where I go.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but the listening to Dusty's stuff, The Wanderers, and you just get blown away because you don't know what they're going to come out with next. I say something like, "Oh, I'm a real big Lau George fan," and he off he goes. Like bang, he's away. And I thought, wow. And Carla is she's something else. From
Phenomenal.
Liza Minnelli through to Janis Joplin, you've got it all.
Exactly. I mean, because she obviously started off as a cabaret queen.
Yes.
Now she's this a post-punk kind of rock chick. Incredible.
What a great balance between her and Sarah, though, in 27. Like, I think that's wonderful.
Wow, just amazing, just amazing.
Mm.
But back to
they're
your...
gonna,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
I'm interrupting you. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're totally
They're
fine.
going to be doing the set at the beginning. You know, I
Yeah.
was going to put it in the middle and do a set first myself. You know, but the powers that be want to do it this way. You know, structure it. But so my way around that is to just get them up. You know, I'll just get them up when Kevin's out there and Dave's out there and Rob Pippin's band's out there. We'll just go for it, you know, because we've got Nanette up there, the singer in Rob Pippin band. She's wonderful. And, you know, the more the merrier on stage because it gives people. My job is the best job in the world. I'm a bag of nerves. I get so stage fright, you know. It's ridiculous. After all these years, I still get stage fright. It used to be easy to mask when I was drinking and drugging, but it's harder now. But the point being that when I get out there, it's one of the most pleasurable places to be when you watch other people's enjoyment of something that you're contributing to. You're contributing to their joy, you know, like, and that hits a part of me inside, which is used to be, I call it the sweet spot. You know, it's just how good is this?
Hey, John, so based on that, then, what's one of your career highlights so far?
Oh, God. Well, I did Ike and Tina Turner back when they were gone. Yeah,
Wow.
that was one of my first supports in Adelaide at the old
Oh,
Apollo Stadium in the old days. You know, that's
holy
what,
moly.
because we had a blues band there called Hard Time Killing Floor.
Yeah.
And Roddy Pierce, guitar player, is just famous. Gwyn Buckley went on to be a session player in Island Records overseas. Now, Adelaide was full of great bands in those days, and I got to be in a band called James Wright. I was in the army, and I came out because I had to get into the army to straighten my life out because I had just wrecked it. You know, like, I've been on the road since I was 13, living with 27-year-old guys and doing what 27-year-old guys do at
Uh-huh.
13. Not a good move, but it is what it is, and you can't go back and change it, you know. And I wouldn't change it anyway because I was mentored by people like Max Merritt, Billy Thorpe. Those guys used to put me under their wing so that you don't get exposed to things that you shouldn't. I still did, but you know, like they'd sort of kept it to a limit. You know, okay, you only have 3 or 4 of them a day. You know, like yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, bad company. My you know, I went out and got pissed with Rick Wakeman. He was an English beer drinking champion. I took him to the Lion and drunk him under the table. And he, you know, beautiful guys. Carmen Apiece, Rod Stewart, the guys from the Babies. You know, we supported a lot of people. If I was to try and remember them, you know, I'm thinking about doing a book, and I started putting some chapters together, and it started to look a bit more like a bit too much of, oh yeah, who else have you played with? You know, like
Yeah.
you know, name drop. And I didn't want that. I just wanted them to experience the joy that a boy from Elizabeth can get. You know, if you think you can't do it, mate, I was a drunk and a drug addict, and you know, I got my OAM, I'm a runner-up in Australian of the Year. I've got the South Australian Pride of the, you know, all of these things. Senior citizen. I thought I was a Mexican senior citizen.
I love it.
You know, and the, you know, at one stage I was explaining yesterday, I went for a job at it used to be the Hotel South Australia where the Beatles went to, you know, and when I was about 13, 14, I went in there for a job, and all it was to push a button in the elevator, and I wasn't qualified.
Oh my God.
So from there to here, it's been a great journey, you know.
Your
And
storytelling is just insane. So you are working on a book at the moment. You are working on your autobiography.
I'm thinking about it because my brother's done so many, and see, we see things through a different perspective. He's looking at it from a cathartic point of view, you know, to heal, because it wasn't all roses, you know.
Yeah.
More like Guns N' Roses. The and mine's, I want it to come from love, because they didn't know any better. They did the best they could with what they had, and you know, that was the way things were in those days. It was a housing trust estate, you know, like Elizabeth was. We had no roads in Elizabeth when we moved in there, you know, so it was just gravel and stuff like that. So naturally, people coming from Glasgow, they gravitate and they bring the social events to it, which is go to the pub every night, you know, and come home, and they bring a carry out because the pubs used to close really early, and these people singing and doing all that sort of stuff. And it's sure as hell, it's still the same today. Get enough drink into them when they're singing, and they'll finish up fighting. You know,
Well, like your stories are like, you know, I mean, this is, you know, the things you've experienced in your life is obviously making you an incredibly rich man, you know, with your experiences. You know, I
yeah,
mean, I could talk to you for hours, and I want to do a part
we
two
will.
because there's so much more history, you know, with the life that you've lived and what you've gone through. So we will definitely do a part two. But for now, what I need to know is the show Swanee Gleeson with special guest Kevin Borich, Dusty Lee, and Carla.
And Carla. Yeah.
What can we expect from the show? What kind of music are we?
Oh, look, it'll be everything. We're going to do all our stuff from the Party Boys. Kevin and I were both in the Party Boys, so obviously we did it with number one album, number one single. You know, like
it was on you again.
Yes, yeah, and Hold Your Head Up High, things like that. You know, they were covers. You know, Johnny Congas did that, and Hold Your Head Up was Argent. You know, like, but looking at a good song is a good song, and I'm not one of those people who's precious. If you want to go down one alley, there's one man you should have a look at is Don Walker. He's a great writer. You know, some of us. I'm a drummer. You know, let's face it, you know, I'm lucky to be here, never mind it. But the show will be more about trying to get it. My job's to excite the audience, to get them as much as they want. And what I get in trouble off Rob Pippin because he says, you know, we've got a set list, and, you know, somebody will shout out, do Matthew, do Evie, you know. And so I'll say, do Evie. And we do parts 1, 2, and 3, because I did it for George Young on his anthology albums, you know. So doing that, and I'll probably get Carla up or something like that and catch him off guard. And that's where you get the performer at their best, because when you catch them off guard, they're not ready for it. They bang the hell out of it, you know.
I love this. John, you know what? I do need to wrap up the interview now because we're like time tick over on me.
I know.
You know what? If you're keen, I would love to do part 2 with you again next week, because there is so much more I want to talk to you about. Can we do that?
I would love it. I loved it. And I'm sorry for talking over the top of you. I just get so excited when passionate when I get going. You know?
Oh my God, same here. And like talking to you is such a freaking honor, my friend. Let's hook up a part 2 for next week, because I want to do it. Because again, and we'll schedule more time in. But right for now, Swanee Gleeson and special guest Kevin Borich is going to be Friday the 30th of May at the
one night only. So book the tickets now, because you know we need to know, because it's costing me a fortune to put this show on, and with the album coming out, you know, I want it to be a good launching pad, you know, because there'll be some surprises there, you know. Thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely chatting to you.
Goodness. Adelaide, get out, buy your tickets. Don't leave it to the last minute, because that's what we've all typically done forever. Start buying your tickets immediately, because this is going to be a banging show. One night only. Get along. John, what an absolute pleasure. And
my pleasure.
We are going to do part 2 next week, because I want to ask you more questions about your history and your life.
You could do one of them, you know, like, because it goes like that. It's really different.
Maybe we should get Gleeson on as well. Should we get Gleeson on?
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun. All right. We'll hook it up. I'll send you an email. But in the meantime, you have the most fabulous day, and I cannot wait to see you again next week.
Take it easy, Marcus.
See you, my friend. Bye.
Thank you for your time.